bring your feet out to the edges of your mat. Let your toes turn outward. Let your palms turn upward. Bring a slight tuck of the chin just to lengthen the back of the neck. Not so much that you're compressing the throat, but just so you can get some easy flowing energy through the spine up to the crown. And soften through your shoulders, so just roll them around. See if you can equalize the weight through the shoulder blades. Same thing with the hips, equalize the weight through the hips. Squeeze through the fingers really tightly, make fists. Do the same thing with your fingers and toes and release. And again, do that again. Squeeze and release. And one more. Squeeze tight, 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 tight. Release. Let your eyes close. Feel your breath slow. So today's practice is going to be focused on the core. A lot of times there's a tightness in the belly naturally. I think we discussed this in the second class about the hip flexors. When they're tight, it's a natural stress reaction that happens. Even though you don't really feel it, it's a low-grade tension that we consistently carry when we're anxious or stressed. So the same thing happens with the belly, because it's that natural rounding curve that the body does to protect itself instinctively. So feel your soft belly here. And breathe into the belly easily. And just continue to breathe, exhaling slowly. Draw the belly in. And then inhale, feel the belly rise. So we're just becoming really aware of the muscles of our core here. We're not fully engaging them, but we're just allowing them to relax. And we're allowing them to gently contract. Make the breath a little bit longer. Now we're not pushing the breath, but we're just lengthening it. And then start to make your exhale a little bit stronger and feel the lower part of your belly pull in. And a big breath in, feel the expansion. And a strong exhale, pull the belly in. Continue to breathe. So this practice is going to be challenging in some moments. We're going to be doing some strengthening of the core as well as some stretching of the core. Draw your legs side by side. Reach your toes forward, reach your arms back. Take an inhale as you stretch long, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, just relax. So arms directly to the back of the room. And again, reach the toes, reach the fingers all the way to the back of the room. So fingers reach back, toes reach forward. And exhale, relax. You're just reaching like this. Inhale, stretch, stretch, stretch. And exhale, relax. Okay. Sometimes you try to make it too hard than it needs to be. So slowly bring knees into the chest. Hands behind your knees. And just rock forward and back. Do this a few times. And then with the third roll, we're going to come up to a seat. Take your block and sit on your block. So for the practice, I'll continue to guide the breath. But remember, we're making the breath long throughout the practice. If this doesn't feel comfortable, you can use a couple blocks. Let your spine be long and tall. Allow your shoulders to relax down. Close the eyes. Bring your left hand to just underneath your belly button. And then your right hand just above your left. So with this strengthening of our belly pulling in, it's kind of like a vacuum. Think about the perineum, so the lower part of the abdominal wall as well as through the butt, all the way underneath. So you want to kind of draw up and in. So it's not just your lower belly now that you're drawing in, but it's actually your whole perineal muscles underneath your hips. So you probably do this naturally and instinctively when you do like a heavy squat or a heavy deadlift. So this is pulling and strengthening really deep pelvic muscles here. Continue to breathe as you exhale. The end of the exhale really pulls that in. Just allow the eyes to close, and we're just trying to connect to those muscles deep, deep, deep in the core. When we inhale, try not to lose that contraction of the lower belly. Just make it stronger at the exhale, but still keep the contraction on the inhale. Breathe into the right hand when you breathe in. Just a couple more breaths. I just want you to get comfortable with feeling these deeper muscles. And it's not only in the front of the body, we're still feeling it through the low back as well when you draw the perineum up. Doing this kind of strengthening action is really good for the hormone system, actually, for the ovaries and the gonads. It helps to bring energy and blood flow there. So it helps to even equalize hormones. Just a couple more breaths. And with the next inhale, allow the eyes to open, and we'll release the hands forward, coming to table pose. So take the block out of the way. Spread your fingers, and when we're on our hands and knees, make sure that your hands are really wide, or your fingers are really wide, and your knuckles push down. So we've already talked about that in the previous class of our shoulders, getting that activation when we push down firmer into the knuckles. So feel that. Bring your knees closer together. Now we're just gonna breathe that exhalation into the low belly and strengthen the perineum. Feel that in this position. As we're inhaling, feel the back expand. So I'm not gonna be able to see what's going on. It's all, everything is what you feel. Every exhale, you're pulling the belly in, you're drawing in the perineal muscles. We're not completely losing the squeeze of the perineal muscles though. Just a couple more breaths here. Now with the next inhale, the right leg's gonna come up and parallel with the floor. Don't lose that strong perineum. Now notice your right hand, spread your fingers and start to bring the left arm forward. Try not to lose the perineum. Try not to lose the strength and length of both sides of the back. Keep breathing that exhalation deep into the deepest layers of the abdominals. The low back is strong. One more deep inhale. Spread your fingers. Exhale, lower the left hand, lower the right knee, and we'll sit back to child's pose. Reach the arms forward. Just take a break here, breathing into your back. Even here, we're creating that long exhale. Next breath in, come back up to table. Spread your fingers. Find that strong back. So we're not letting the belly dip. We're not arching the back. It's the neutral spine as if you were still standing straight up. Now squeeze through the perineal muscles, strong low back, and then left leg goes back. Everything else stays the same. Right arm goes forward. Stay strong in your lower abdominal wall. Stay strong through both sides of your back. Be aware of that. You may need to pull your left hip up. You may need to draw your right shoulder down. Notice and correct as you need. Every exhale squeezes at the end, low belly in. One more breath in. Exhale to lower. Sit back to child's pose. Inhale, come back up to table. Walk the hands forward so we can come into downward dog. Come into your downward dog and just huddle the feet, lifting one heel at a time. Anytime you come into your downward dog, same thing with your hands. Spread your fingers wide through the fingertips and grounded through the knuckles. And coming back to neutral, push the heels down and walk the feet towards the center of your mat and step your feet out to the edges of your mat. Turn your toes out, bend your knees. And we're just moving up and down with the hips. Warming up through the knee joints, muscles of the thighs. When you get low, widen your knees. And even here, now you start to notice the perineal muscles. When you get up to the top, squeeze. Maintain that squeeze when you lower down. And notice it's a little bit of a different sensation because now the knees are doing the opposite direction. So we're really creating more of a strength there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just keep practicing it. You'll eventually feel it. Just a couple more. The next time that the hips are down, we'll stay down. Rock to the left, rock to the right. Get your hips really low, 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 low. Low, 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 low. Yep, keep going. Look forward. Yeah, sit your hips down more. Yeah. And then we'll hold to neutral. Now find a position for your feet where they feel like they're comfortable and stable. This one's gonna be more of a core strengthener now. Arms will go up. And let's straighten the legs. That was a lot, I know. Okay, so feel that the engagement of your lower belly, strong, and we're going to lower down. So just like a squat, and come back up. Squeeze the low belly, squeeze the glutes. Just keep moving. We'll just do 2 more. I know, this one's a lot. Steve did legs yesterday, so. And Al just got his knees reconstructed. I think Al wins. Okay, so we'll be here. Bring the hands to the hips. Walk your feet together. So the toes are forward. Find your Tadasana, so hands by your side. Thighs gently lifted. And this root lock in yoga, that's the same thing when the perineum is drawn up and the lower belly is drawn in. So with the yoga philosophy, it's about holding in your energy and allowing it. I think I've mentioned this before, the energy running up the spine to the crown. It's all in here, it's that root lock. So find that here, you're drawing the perineum in, strong low belly. Feel that engage. Release the arms up. Take the right wrist and exhale over to the left. So we're just gonna move side to side, but go slow. So to get to center, you're using the opposite abdominal wall. So now we're over to the right, pull with the left side, start from your belly button, and then over to the left. We're just moving side to side. So it's not merely just going left to right, you're actually moving deep, deep into your spinal muscles and joints. Just a couple more. Move with your breath. If you find that you can't catch your breath, just take a break. We'll go over to the right. Come back to center. Bring the hands to the hips. Spread the toes of the left foot. Keep your right toes pointing directly to the front of the room. Gentle bend in the left knee. We're reaching the right leg out. Low back is engaged, low belly is engaged. It's balanced on the front and back of the body. Lower the leg. Keep your chest open. Do your practice with a proud chest and the spine stays neutral. Keep moving, right leg out and in. When you bring the leg out to the side, don't lose that strength in your lower belly. Practice moving and staying engaged there. It doesn't have to be an overly strong belly, but just enough that we're keeping the balance to the front and the back. Couple more. And then with the next one, we'll release leg down. Just stay here and breathe. Now let's find our Tadasana. Balanced on the left and the right, balanced on the front and the back. Balanced inhale to exhale. The heart can still be quick. You have the control of your breath. It'll slow the heart down. Draw in the lower belly. Bring the hands to the hips. Spread the toes of the right foot. The left toes remain pointing to the front of the room. We're just bringing it out and in. Be aware what happens when you're asked to do something you're not really used to. Does your mind start to chatter? Do you start making excuses of why you shouldn't? Maybe your body changes and you start hovering. Notice those little things that happen. Maybe you start losing the abdominal wall. Keep checking in. That's why we're going slow, and we're retraining the smallest parts, the smallest changes. We're retraining that so the body just instinctively starts to do it. Just a couple more. We'll keep the foot down. Release here, find your Tadasana, find your breath, close your eyes. So remember, Tadasana is a posture too. The chest is just as strong as the back. Open the eyes, bring the left hand to the hip. Bring the right arm directly overhead. The palm will face the left wall. Bring the right knee up, out to the right. Deep breath in. Right elbow, right knee, exhale. Come back up. No big deal if you're wobbly. We're just doing 3 of these. 1 more. Good. Come back up. And release. Right foot down, right hand to the hip, left arm up. Palm faces the right wall. Left knee comes up. Control your breath. Left knee to the left. We're just doing 3. Really control your movement. Spread the toes of your right foot. That's going to help. 1 more. And come back to your neutral. Foot down. Hands, let's come to the heart center. Close the eyes. Open the eyes. Reach the arms up. Gaze up. Bend the elbows behind the head, or sorry, fingers behind the head, and the elbows are wide. Lift your chin. So we're just opening up the chest. We're opening up the belly. Push the hips forward. Soften your forehead. Widen your elbows more. And deep breath in, chin up. Exhale to neutral and fold. Release the hands down. Walk your hands to the front of the mat. Step your feet to the back of the mat. Hold your plank. So this is when you're really gonna be able to find those perineal muscles really help your plank. So a lot of times we'll just rely on the outward muscles, the six-pack muscles to hold us. But you'll find that you'll be able to create a more engagement when you pull that lower belly perineal muscle in, and then work from the inside out to create the strength. Work from there up and from there down, kneecaps lift. Feel that your core is engaged around your rib cage now. Keep that exhale squeezing everything to midline. Keep breathing. Notice your hands, spread your fingers. Slow your breath. Let's lower the knees. And come all the way down to the belly. Just make a pillow with your hands. So just stay here, allow your head, your chin, your ear to rest on the backs of your hands. Find your breath slow and deep. We put so much emphasis into strengthening our quads and our back and our shoulders, but we don't put as much time into strengthening the deepest layers that are really gonna help and sustain our body. So it's going to be difficult because they're muscles that are really small. They don't take a lot of weight to get tired, but they're very beneficial to work. Just thinking about your core being the bridge from your upper body to your lower body. If you can't transfer that weight from the legs to the arms, then your arms are going to be weaker. So be aware that it's really important to keep the core engaged and strong when you do your practice, when you do your weights. And that's what we're trying to learn here, is that deep activation. Bring your chin forward. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Spread your fingers, tuck your toes. Straight arms to plank. Now from here, we roll to the right side of the right foot. Don't drop your hip. We're in plank, side plank. Bring your left arm up. If you need to, you can come on your right elbow. If you need to, you can come on your right knee. Straight legs if you can. Yeah. The more you push your outer edge of your right foot, yep, then the better. Keep straightening your right leg. Yep. And think about pulling your right hip up to your right rib cage. Good. Left arm strong too. That is your core. Think about your, think about your energy deep within your spine is reaching equally to the right and left hand. Keep breathing. If you need to, knee can come down. One more breath in. Left hand down as we exhale to plank. And let's lower down. Let's take a break. Do you guys seriously not train your abs?
No.
Bodybuilders.
Like I train my abs.
Bodybuilders. All right, pillow with your hands and just find your breath. What did you say? Take a drink if you need. Feeling okay?
Yeah.
I know, it's hot in here. Do you want me to put the air
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Keep it.
I like it, I like it. Okay.
My safe word is orange.
Your safe word. Okay. Hands under shoulders. Tuck the toes. Straighten the arms. Plank. And roll outside left foot. We're not letting the hips sink. Spread your fingers. Use all parts of your hand to engage your shoulder. Right arm is up and just as strong as the left one. It doesn't mean you're weak if you have to bring your knee down. So don't be afraid to bring it down. It doesn't matter. You're still working hard. Straighten your left leg if you can. Both legs straight and strong. The whole body is the same strength and effort here. Now find your lower belly, your perineal muscles, draw them in. Push yourself out of the floor. And feel the squeeze of your rib cage to your spine. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. One more inhale. Good. Exhale, hand down. And let's come to child's pose. Take a drink if you need. It is really hot here today. Let me know. I could do like the air exchange or whatever.
I'm worried about the heat.
It's not the heat, it's the ab exercises. We haven't even started training them. It's gonna get harder from here. Okay.
Go.
You'll be fine. Has anyone ever tried to do a vacuum? You want to try that?
Sure.
I just had a big protein shake, so it's going to be a little difficult for me. So you hear like all the bodybuilders from the 70s always had these like really tight muscle abdominals, you know, more of a V taper with the back. So their big thing was vacuum. So what you do is, it's easier if you bend like this because you have a softer belly. And so you inhale. And then exhale. You try to draw it in. And then you have a mock inhale, they call it. And then you're trying to tuck your belly up into your rib cage. Is it working? Am I doing it? Am I doing it? Okay, so let's try. Even if it doesn't actually happen, you're actually going to strengthen the deeper wall. So let's. So bend the knees, hands to the belly, or sorry, to the knees. And this, we do this again just to feel that relaxation. So remember when we started at the beginning, we were feeling the muscles of the belly soften. So find that here. So like feel your, I don't know if you can see me, but like you're actually moving, like it's soft and you're moving, you're really releasing it, letting it go. So we're gonna inhale, suck it in. And then exhale, stay here, pull the belly in more. And then a mock inhale. So you're not actually inhaling, you're just drawing it in. Is it working? Right?
Yeah.
Cool, yeah. So you can practice that at home. It does work because it's working those deepest layers of muscle that go inward. So it makes your waist smaller. Okay, so let's come back down. That was enough standing. So we're gonna do some abdominals, obviously, with the block. And then we'll do a little bit of yin just to let you guys relax. Okay, so we're gonna come onto the back. And I should also mention too, a lot of people think that the core is the abdominals, but the core is everything that has an effect on your pelvis and your spine. So your glutes are part of your core. I think I sent you that in the email, the illustration, yeah. Your core all the way up from your top, like underneath your sternum, all the way down to your glutes. That'll be your core. So we'll do some abdominals and then we'll do some glutes. So from here, feet are planted to the mat, knees are bent. Taking your block into your left hand, excuse me, left hand and left knee and elbow, sorry. Yeah, okay. Take your left or your right hand right to your right belly and push your left knee and left elbow into the block and feel that that is engaging that abdominal wall there. Keep that strong. Now feel it engage underneath your belly button. Lift your head. Now you're engaging the upper abdominal wall. Take the left hand behind the head. The left hand, yep. Now the right arm and leg up to the ceiling.
Oh my God.
Right? So we're gonna stay here and keep pushing the block with your left knee and elbow. And if you need to, the head can come down and you're just gonna take some of the strength out of the upper abdominal, or the effort, I should say. So we're gonna make this more challenging. Right leg goes to the front of the room, right arm goes to the back of the room, and then come back up. Good. Inhale it open. Don't let your low back lift. Exhale it up. Inhale, open. Only go as low as you can go without lifting your low back. Steve, just leave your leg up. 3 more. Just leave your leg up and move your right arm. Keep pushing with your left side. And release. I think you guys need to train your abdominals more. So just stay here, bring your knees into your chest, roll left to right. Good, good. And then we'll come back to neutral. And then we're gonna go to the other side. So now we've got the left knee, or sorry, right knee and right elbow together, pushing on the block. Now left hand goes right underneath the right side rib cage. Feel that strong, belly strong. Lift the head, take the right hand behind the head. And then left arm and leg up. Keep pushing right side. That doesn't stop, just lower, hover left leg and arm. And exhale up. Let's go slow. Now go as slow as you can because you really need to focus on how the low back is
That's gonna be where you need to stop. If you find that your low back comes up, you've gone too far. Because we need to keep the engagement front and back equally. We've got 3 more. Don't lose the right side. You'll have more power if you push on the block. 2. And 1. Release. Do whatever feels good, except leave the room. Just rock side to side. The thing is, like, it hurts for like a second, you know what I mean? It's just hard to push through it sometimes. So we're gonna keep going. Just change the angle of the strength that we're gonna create in the abdominal wall. So, still using the block, but this time we're gonna have it on the left knee and the right elbow. So this is really gonna help with that, that small waist as well. You can't even reach it.
Nope. I got it.
Oh no, okay, maybe hold it like this, dude. Like this, hold it like this. Yeah. Okay, so the left arm is gonna go out to the left, palm down. The right leg up to the ceiling. And then the right hand behind the head. And we're only moving that right leg. Lower, just the right leg, yep, and lift. Yep, keep moving. Push the right heel to the ceiling. The right leg is active. Both abdominal walls, both sides are active. 3 more. Keep pushing the elbow. That will give you more strength. Don't lose it. 2.
Orange.
1. And let's go. Release. Rock the knees side to side. And then 1 more. So we'll do this one quick. We got the right knee up, the left elbow, right palm out to the right, facing down, head up, left hand behind the head. Squeeze, 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 left elbow, right knee, lift the left leg high. Yeah, good. And then just continue, lift and lower. Control your breath, calm your base. Pushing the knee to the elbow is really going to help to create more balance all the way up the abdominal wall. 2 more. Push your low back down. That will help to engage. Last one. And let's go. Okay. So from here, just bend your knees, plant your feet. Knees point to the ceiling. Feet are pointing to the front wall. And we're just lifting and lowering the hips. And just take your time as you go. As we're doing this, we're helping to relax those muscles that we've just contracted. And then we're also starting to initiate more strength into the glutes and hamstrings. Find that. When you get to the top of your lift, squeeze the glutes. Just a couple more. Okay, the next time that the hips are down, they'll stay down. Bring your knees into your chest. Lift your heels to the ceiling. And just point the toes, point the heels. Up and down. Just flexing through the ankles and toes. Now from here, take your block, put it in front of your left glute. Lengthwise, yep. Right in front and lengthwise. Yep. Bend the left knee and plant the left foot on your block. Yeah. And then bend your right knee, plant your right foot on the floor. Okay. Elbows bend and point your fingers to the ceiling. Push your triceps and shoulder blades into the mat really strongly. Put the same amount of weight in your feet and lift your hips up. And lower. And up. Don't lose the strength of your triceps. Again, up and lower. Now the next time we come up, we're gonna hold it. You know, it's gonna be a little bit more challenging. Now we're gonna lift the right knee and heel up. Yeah. Now it's normal if you don't activate your left glute, your right hip will fall to the mat. Pick it up. Like you're trying to push your right heel to the ceiling and your left glute tucks under you. Keep here, keep breathing. Keep using your triceps and shoulder blades. Soften your forehead. Let's smile here. Yeah, and release. It completely changes it. I do it all the time when I'm working out and it's really hard. Knees to chest. And if I just change the expression, it helps the pain. Okay, we'll just do the other side. So right foot over the block. We're using the elbows and triceps, shoulders. Push the hips up. And we're doing both feet first. Both feet first. So let's go. When you get to the top, so we're just doing this just to start to activate that right hamstring and glute. Squeeze it at the top. Stay here. You've got your leg up. You're not supposed to yet. No, let's go. Leg up. That's okay. And then we're gonna hold. We're gonna hold. See if you can get that left leg really straight. Push more into your triceps. Hamstring is strong. Think about tucking your right hip under you. Lift your left hip higher. Deep breath in. Soft face. Smile. And release. The knees to chest. Rocking side to side. And then we'll come into Shavasana. So the same pose we began the practice with. Bring your feet to the edges of your mat. No, we're on our back.
Oh, okay.
I forgot you didn't know what Shavasana is. So Shavasana is Sanskrit. So in the Indian tradition, or traditional language in India, Sanskrit, and it means corpse pose. So the idea behind it is that we are killing off or getting rid of what we don't need, physically, mentally, spiritually, consciously, whatever, we're letting it go. The tension in the body, we're letting it release. And then with the corpse pose or Shavasana, it starts to integrate what we've learned in our practice physically and mentally. So it's integrating the muscle electricity that's happening, and it's integrating the neurological things that are happening in the brain. So just slow, starting the process of repair here.